je suis venu à Victoria en 1960 pour faire la deuxième partie des cours secondaires. J'ai fini ça, j'ai rentré à l'université, j'ai fait mon université à Victoria où j'ai connu l'Elia. Et Victoria, c'est un port d'exportation de minéral de fer, de beaucoup de marchandises. Que j'ai regardé, c'était un port ouvert, qu'on pouvait regarder les bateaux qui venaient, qui se mettaient, qui traversaient. Et à force de venir dans ce port, j'ai repéré énormément de bateaux que je les reconnaissais quand ils revenaient. Parce qu'à la fin, c'est des bateaux qui faisaient la liaison entre ces ports et l'Europe, entre ces ports et le Japon, qui amenaient des minéraux de fer, qui amenaient des cafés ou d'autres produits. Et ça te donnait une fantastique idée du monde, de l'humanité, des liaisons entre, pas par les produits, n'est-ce pas, par les bateaux, entre certains groupes humains avec d'autres groupes humains de l'autre côté, liés par ces marins qui allaient et venaient, liés par ces bateaux qui allaient et venaient. Et là, ça permettait de voyager, d'avoir une idée d'un monde tellement vaste, à la fin tellement unitaire et tellement parfait dans ces pièces qui composaient toute une logique de fonctionnement d'une planète. A ship comes from inside a coal mine, comes from inside a iron mine. This comes transported by ships, normally, to the steel plant, where all these elements are put together, and all this is transformed into steel, normal flat steel, that go to the shipyards, and these men link all this flat steel. At this point, they are very close to the people that work in coal mines, and sometimes in iron mines. Because, for example, the disease that you have from a coal mine is the silicosis, is the heavy air that you respire, the elements that come from the mines and make a deposit inside the coal mine. Is the same disease that you have in shipyards. And after, slowly by slowly, you made a ship, a fabulous machine that in the beginning, when you look how you begin to do a ship, you say, what is this? What kind of things is it that has no form? You look the design, looks logical, but looks so big. The scale is so huge that you say, it's impossible, we cannot do all this. And slowly by slowly, we built this fantastic thing. One day, we put this ship in the water, and the day that it reached the water, it became a ship. And one day that go to the sea, I begin to link all the societies. Transported goods produced by other men, transported things along the world, link civilization. And one day these ships has no more function, go to a beach to die. In the end, it is not die, to be transformed, to be recycled. The disease that you get for cutting is yet the silicosis, because the air that you get from these flames cutting is very heavy air. And the people have a lot of this same kind of disease cutting the ship. And this ship is be transformed again in flat steel, and in the end the ship will be transformed in all goods that the ship transported in all his life. Will be transformed in knives, in forks, in agriculture instruments, and all this is transformed again. I wanted to provoke a small debate about the workers of the third world, because these people work, they don't receive enough money to be alive.
Cargo is dropped from the ship. Anyone can be crushed. Wires snapped. Last year, one person spoke out. He was given a good beating. His head was shaved and he was marched on a donkey down the road. Since then, nobody has dared to utter a word.
I've got it here, sorry. Right, it's RS Industries, Bombay. I think we did one to them about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And they were okay.
Right.
It's 233. I'd try and get back around 240. He reckons there's about another $3 there. But, I don't know if you can squeeze them anymore.
The financement of this huge investment of modernization of our society, the money for do this came by the work of all universe, all humanity. Came a lot by the transfer of revenue from one side of the world to the other. When you see, for example, the coffee production, tea in Africa. I was working a sulfur mine in Indonesia. In 1984, workers were made in about $6.20 a day, American dollars a day. And when I shut my store in 1991, the works were made $3.50 a day. That means they lose close to 50% of their power to buy things in comparison with the outside of the world. They probably become close to 50% much poorer. We built a society that produces big amount of goods for consumption, but we are reducing the number of consumers in the world because we pay them less in the third world or in our side of the world because we become so modern that we create a huge unemployment. And that's a small contradiction that we are living in our time, in our story, that we must work it out. Because if you don't work it out, I believe that we can be in some trouble. And I hope that we can work it out.
Before the price of cocoa fell 6 years ago, it used to be around $3,500 a ton. Nowadays, it's $1,900. Therefore, because of the low price, the cost of the cocoa production isn't covered. The wages are low. A crisis is taking place, posing enormous difficulty for cocoa-producing culture.
Cultura do cacau, né? Uma cultura que é praticamente inviável.
The labor situation is the worst. The one that suffers the most is the rural worker. He earns the minimum wage, which is outrageous. It's nothing. I don't know how they manage to survive.